In this episode of Dustin's Travels, we visit a local coffee farm and learn just how close coffee was to being banned in this world.
Some of the people thought the coffee was from the devil.
And we share our first impressions of Puerto Rico.
That was so annoying.
All right, good morning. The Puerto Ricans like to party hard, but there is not a soul out here this morning, and it's 8:15 a.m. I'm gonna check on this smoothie place around the corner here, see if it's open, get a little smoothie. I hear music, but they're not open. Qué malo. We're gonna skip San Juan in the beginning of our trip. We're gonna come back, so we'll explore San Juan when we get back. Well, today we're headed over to Ponce, but first, we're stopping at one of the most famous coffee spots in all of Puerto Rico. Did you see that sign that said prohibited in the tunnel explosives?
Something about forbidden materials, which kind of explosives could very well be one of them.
Four things, first impressions of Puerto Rico. Number one, I'm amazed how friendly people are. We met some two ladies on the plane as we were getting off. They were very nice. They started giving us tips. They even give us their phone numbers and call us if you need anything. They do like the kiss on the cheek as we're leaving, like, you know, kind of like you do in Iran. They just very endearing, very European. Number two is how artsy the place is. We saw painted murals everywhere. Downtown. The island creative atmosphere says a lot about the culture, I think, when you see that. Number three, it's very hot. We're here in December, and it was hot last night sleeping at our Airbnb. It's pretty hot this morning, so I can't imagine what it's like in the summertime here. Yeah, I missed the turn. It's okay. Hold on. Fourth, the seafood is amazing. We only had it once so far, but we saw that it's very popular. A lot of seafood dishes, as you might expect here on the island. And fifth, GPS is a little bit crazy driving around here, which I just learned.
I just love how green and luscious and beautiful it is here. Just driving here on the highway, everything's so green, and it makes it such a pleasant drive. My second impression of Puerto Rico is just how lively it is. We went dancing last night to this like main plaza area. There were so many young people out in the streets dancing, drinking, partying, and that's really awesome to see. Just people out enjoying life. I love to see that. Third, I was actually surprised at 7 a.m. the church bells go off, and that was so annoying. I guess I know that there's a Catholic, presence and history, and the religion is probably the number one religion. But still, it took me by surprise. I'm like, do people really go to mass this early? Are people waking up to the bells? It just seemed anachronistic to me. Like, it's not necessary to have the church bells anymore.
Anachronistic? Bro, so many potholes on the freeway, and I'm not talking little ones, I'm talking like pretty big potholes. Like, if you fell in that, your car would just tilt a little bit.
Beautiful place. Set up for coffee and Puerto Rican breakfast.
Puerto Rico is famous for its coffee, and this place called Hacienda Muñoz has won the People's Choice Award for the coffee for several years. So we're gonna do a tour here of the coffee farm, and then of course we're gonna have some food and try their delicious coffee. And if we're swift enough, maybe we'll have some chicken right on cue.
I could tell you didn't grow up with animals because that's a rooster, not a chicken.
Should I feed him or eat him?
How about neither? I'm very excited. This is such a beautiful place. I've always dreamt of like living in a place like this, like a little hacienda, and I have my roosters and my horses. So it's really cool to come and see that. Just like really immerse myself in the Puerto Rican culture.
We are going to save the real breakfast and the coffee till the end. So we want to see how the coffee is made, get our taste buds up, and then we're going to try the coffee at the end.
So my name is Maria Gabriela. Here they call me Magabi. That is combining both names.
This is a local family-owned coffee place. They've been open for 30 years, and they used to do just event catering. So only 10 years ago, they started doing coffee kind of on the side, but it became so popular, they expanded on it, and now they've won many, many awards in the last decade. Our tour lady was saying that the coffee actually started in Ethiopia, moved over to Saudi Arabia, then over to Europe. And the origin story is that a monk or a guy was walking with his goat, and the goat started eating the coffee seeds from a tree, and then the goat started acting all crazy, and the owner of the goat got curious and said, "What is this?" So he tried the coffee, but he didn't like the flavor. I don't know if he brewed it or what. So then he got mad. He threw all the coffee seeds into the fire in anger, and when the coffee seeds were in the fire, it became roasted and started to smell very good. So he decided to give it another try. He mixed it with some other things, and he ended up liking it. The history of coffee goes even deeper and gets even rockier. In ancient times, coffee was seen as an intoxicant and medicine, not as a normal daily drink like we see it now. The monks the coffee was first introduced to used it to be able to stay up late at night in meditation. In the 15th century, the Sufis, a mystical branch of Islam, drank coffee as part of their rituals and prayers to help them stay awake. Coffee became popular in the Muslim world where alcohol was forbidden, and also in the Christian world where drinking water was not widely available, so people turned to beer and coffee instead. But some sought to ban coffee. The Quran prohibits stimulating intoxicants such as wine. In 1511, Mecca's chief of police, who was a bit on the radical side, ordered a ban on coffee. But the ban only lasted a year as the people protested, and the Sultan of Cairo himself replaced that radical police chief. A short time thereafter in Cairo, when a husband married his wife, he was required to provide her a supply of coffee, otherwise she would have adequate grounds for a divorce. In 1570, some Islamic religious clerics in Constantinople requested another ban on coffee because, quote, the mosques stood empty while people flocked in increasing numbers to the coffee houses. Coffee houses weren't just about coffee. They were a place where people could go to get away from their daily lives and gather with others. But because they were a public gathering place, they were also seen as a threat to the monarchs of the time. In Persia, the kings placed their spies in the coffee houses to learn of and divert talks of insurrection. The same was done in 1672 England, where King Charles II saw coffee houses as a place where people could spread misinformation or false news, as he called it, which was really just information against him. He also tried to ban coffee houses, but it just lasted 11 days. The Christian world also tried to ban coffee. In the early 1500s, Pope Clement VIII was advised to ban coffee as it represented a threat from the infidels. After having tried it, the Pope declared, "This Satan's drink is so delicious that it would be a pity to let the infidels have exclusive use of it. We shall fool Satan by baptizing it and making it a truly Christian beverage." Nice. Poets and intellectuals began speaking at coffee houses, and in Oxford, coffee houses became known as penny universities because for the cost of a cup of coffee, you could gain access to intellectual discussions and learning from others. Coffee became popular in colonial America in defiance to drinking British imported tea. Nowadays in Turkey, a savvy mystic or an ambitious friend can use the signs in Turkish coffee to tell you your fortune. So they tried to grow the coffee in Europe, but they realized that the best place to grow these coffee plants was tropical areas. So that's when they started to ship them out to Puerto Rico and the Caribbean islands. So by the end of the 1700s, Puerto Rico had become one of the largest exporters of coffee in the world. The way it works is first they plant the seed, and it takes 2 to 3 years for the coffee plant to grow. Then that plant creates flowers. Flowers smell like jasmine, and they only last for 3 days. Then the flower falls and a small cocoon is left. It then takes about 8 months for that cocoon to turn red, at which point it's ready to harvest.
So this is a normal fruit. Sorry, very slow. My bad here. There you go.
Oh wow, very slimy.
Yeah.
Mmm.
No.
What does it smell like?
Smells
like
a
pepper.
red bell pepper.
Yeah, like red peppers.
Nothing on the tree smells like coffee at all. It smells like pepper, feels slimy. The harvest time is around October and November, which also happens to be the hurricane season here in Puerto Rico. And sometimes the hurricanes will come and wipe out the trees. Like Hurricane Maria 7 years ago, which wiped out all the trees here. If the tree survives the hurricanes, the birds, the iguanas, the government, as she says, then they can harvest the coffee beans. Now, not all coffee you drink is true coffee. A lot of companies, they'll mix their coffee beans with chickpeas, with corn to create more of it and it's less expensive. You gotta look for that tag 100% Puerto Rican coffee to know that it's full coffee bean. No silly additives. I'll bet Starbucks does that.
Well, I'm about to try Puerto Rican coffee for the first time. Smell it first. Wow, it's very bitter, but this is how I like coffee actually. No sugar, no milk, just strong black coffee. Definitely strong.
Smells strong. Tastes good. Hey, little cafecito. This bread is really good. This might be the best turkey sandwich I've ever had. So we bought a lot of coffee for family and friends. And something I didn't know is that the dark coffee is actually less caffeine because they roast it more, so the caffeine and the acidity goes down. But the lighter coffees are higher caffeine and higher acidity because they don't roast it as much.
You get more flavor when you roast it more, less flavor when it's less roasted.
To be honest, the pure coffee wasn't like super great, but her cappuccino is amazing and my chai latte is amazing.
Next time on Dustin's Travels. Join us as we make our way down to Ponce, Puerto Rico's second largest city, where we discover the birthplace of the legendary Don Q rum and uncover Ponce's dramatic and fascinating history.
The trees, like happened in her with her, like